Good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning. First of all, I want to thank everyone that came by the Hamilton show, Cop and Rodders. It's a really cool show. I mean, I met thousands of people. I was out giving out the flyer at the main gate, so it was kind of cool to meet everyone and talk to everyone, and of course promote the event in September. Also want to congratulate my wife for winning the Award of Excellence. We did not expect that either. It's crazy that she hasn't won an award ever. Now she's won two back-to-back, so congratulations to Carrie. So we're going to talk about something that most people don't want to talk about, is building a project car. So this car came in on Saturday, literally in baskets. But on Saturday we unloaded the trailer, his truck, the back of the car, and of course we kind of laid out all the parts. So I've been here now for about an hour and a half this morning. Basically I was here 4:45, and what I like to do is sort all the parts out to get everything ready. So I found parts that don't belong to this car, and of course we try to sort out everything. And for most people, they fail, not because they want to, it's overwhelming. When they see a lot of parts, they don't know where to start. It's like planning a trip to go somewhere. You need to know where you're going, and you have to have a mental positive. You got to say, man, for most people, they're like, I'll never finish this car. So a lot of people start it, they quick to taking it apart, turn it into a shell to get painted, and then people lose the steam, and it's overwhelming mentally, or they get busy in life and the car does not get finished. Well, this car one here, it belongs to Roscoe Pico. Ross, that used to work here at the shop, and normally we don't do these projects this time of the year because Ross got me through my mental state, COVID times. If some of you guys remember my video, I was mentally beat up, and I had enough with people, saying that, that person had parts and I didn't, and everybody was lying about their inventory. So that kind of overwhelmed me, and I'll be honest with you, in my whole life, I usually have control, and I literally lost control, and Russ stepped in, and I'll tell you, for a guy that was green, he really stepped up his game and got me through the bad times, and of course, he got to learn the job, and he went to do bigger and better things. So now the car is here, and basically, we're going to do a video every day, the progress of this. So one thing that surprised me this morning was the wiring. So this is the wiring for the car. So somebody kind of took it all apart, took all the covering, and that alone to sort out is hours and hours to get that figured out. Thank God that we know these cars and we know every nut and bolt. Like, you're probably thinking, why does he have two clutch pedals? Well, one is actually an automatic and one is stick, but we need to take one of the pedals from the automatic to put onto the stick for the brake booster. And of course, there's parts here he really doesn't need. So how do you start a job like this? So for me and for Rob here, so Rob's gonna be working on this one here for the next 2.5, 3 weeks. And what we do is we try to get the bulk stuff done. So let's put the motor, tranny, drive shaft. Some of the parts are already installed. Some of the stuff is already in the car. So we like to kind of go over everything regardless who does the job, because it's going to be us touching it, and if we forget something that was loose from before, so we definitely have to go over everything, like bleed brakes, alignment. We have to do all kinds of stuff. So this is literally a shell with a cam member, a rear end in it, and some small stuff installed. Everything else has to be done, from door panels to everything on the vehicle. The dash, so somebody took the dash out, but they stripped all the wiring off of it, so we got to put all that back. So this car is going to be a non-AC car converted to AC. So in those two big boxes, it's all the AC stuff. Of course, we're going to do internal fuel pump. We're going to take the external pump out. Of course, we're going to do all brand new lines. We like to run it through the frame connectors, anti-sway bar system. Of course, he has all the windows out. Normally, we don't do window stuff, but we will be trying to do that. Battery in the back. Also, that's very important, is when you're assembling a car, is you want to make sure that you clean everything, because you don't want to have a beautiful paint job, although the car's not washed right now. And of course, we put the wheels on right away to give that look of the beginning of the project. So it's funny how just wheels mentally change what your goal is going to be to get this car done. So right away, we took the shitty wheels off the car that he had as a roller, and we put his nice wheels on it. We still got the black wheel nuts here. So that gives you that, okay, now we got some kind of a good looking car to start. And of course, being an 86, a 4i, I'm a big fan. So this is going to be a project that's going to be, it's going to take a while, but we're going to chop at it every day. So we don't look at it. The only time I don't finish a project is if we run out of parts, or the gentleman that's building the car runs out of money. But it's something that we got to do. So basically, everything gets to be cleaned out. So we're going to take these panels out. We've got to insert the windows. We've got to do all that. That's the last thing we're going to do. We're going to try and get the powertrain in, get all that done. Of course, he has more parts over here. And I don't mean to ramble on, but this is something that we're going to post every day. The back window, his stereo. That's the least of our problems right now. While Rob is working on the car, I'm going to be trying to sort out basically the wiring, and of course sorting out all the parts. So he has like doubles of some stuff. So we try to sort out through everything. Example, like that gets painted, so you don't want to put that in a nice car. So we got to detail, even these rubbers, it got to be detailed. So you got to clean everything. And that takes time. And most people lose patience because they just don't have the time to do this. So we try to tackle it, everything from one end of the car to the other. He has some really nice seats. Of course, he has the Cook's long tube headers. They're really big headers. It's going to be a tight fit for the headers. Of course, the motor's at 351 stroked out. We put all the accessories last week. We kind of gone over the motor, and everything is really good. So this motor's never run, so we always cross our fingers that it's going to run. We didn't build it, so we hope that, I know the gentleman that built it. He has a good reputation. So when we know who it is, we kind of, we take all right, we could breathe. It's going to be a good build. The guy does a good job. Of course, 6-speed transmission. I believe it's a Magnum 6-speed. And this is what's going on here at the Silver Racing. We're going to be doing this every day to show you the progress of the build. So the only time I'm going to put it up a video, it's going to be basically I'm not here, but that's if I'm got hit by a car. I hope that doesn't happen, but we're going to let you know. So if you have any questions, put comments on the build. So I'll try and answer them every night the best I can. I'll try to go through the comments, and anybody needs any questions answered. Don't ramble on too long because I got to spread my love between everybody. So something that, you have any questions about a build that you're building, I'll take some time to do it every night when I can. And of course, Roscoe Pico Train, we're starting a project today. I already started by sorting out everything from sections. So you got your bell housing, your transmission, your McLeod clutch. Of course, you got your starter, your headers. Of course, you're going to be doing the interior later. So for me, I rather everybody bring a bucket of bolts. I know exactly what every bolt is for, especially the Fox body stuff. The newer stuff, Rob knows exactly what everything is. But this stuff here, we're going to sort out. So at least if we need stuff, we could go into the box and find bolts. If you don't have them, I keep that toolbox there. There's 3 drawers of nuts and bolts because some of the stuff, nobody makes it anymore. And of course, you got steering shaft. I'm not a big fan of these ones because they're all got nuts, and they actually, although we do Loctite, except this one here, somebody's actually tack welded it. So we're going to clean that up a little bit and paint it. I don't like seeing stuff like that. So a nice little weld there. We're going to clean it up. So these are little things. And of course, very important, everybody makes a mistake. They get a neutral flywheel. And of course, they don't put the weights on. Some weights are for 50 ounce, some weights for 28 ounce. We've had a lot of cars come in that was built somewhere, or the customer built it himself, and they didn't know the balance of the motor, so the car had a vibration. And normally we could feel that as soon as the car comes to the dyno. We stop right there. We tell the customer, this is not going to be a good result. We got to figure out what the vibration is, because if you have a vibration in the motor, that means you're going to knock the main bearings or rods out of the motor. Then you have a pile of scrap in your car. So also another thing I've noticed, the steering column is for an 87 and newer, really, because the way the dash is designed, the 86, we can make it work, but to be honest with you, it's not going to look right. So I already told Rostad on Saturday. Of course, everything is kind of dirty, and I've been wiping it slowly, but I got more to do. Of course, you got all the nice the boots here. So that one actually belongs to an 87. Does not belong to an 86. This is actually an 86, and that's where we come in. We know these cars inside out. So this one I'm going to be pulling out of there. Of course, he found these rare fog light covers. You cannot find them, and if you do find them, you pay a big dollar for them. Ross found them somewhere. Ross is the man of finding parts. That's why he worked here, and he did a great job for us. So on to getting the car done here. Basically, I wanted to show you everything from moldings to gas tank. And people get overwhelmed mentally. Even myself, I've been doing this for a long time. This morning, my goal was to come in, open all the boxes, sort out the stuff that belongs to this car, the stuff that doesn't, like simple stuff like this. Like this belongs to the steering column. I know these cars, so I know exactly where everything goes. Lots of small bits and pieces in boxes. Of course, this is the Holley system. Got to wire it all in. Of course, he has the Dakota dash here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's here somewhere. And of course, I'll find it. But it definitely is here. And we're going to be, actually, it's right there. And we're going to be wiring that all in. That's a big job. Like that alone is a day and a half to do. Now this here, that's a whole story. We're going to show you guys at the end what it all looks like. But thanks for listening, guys. Stay tuned. Thanks for telling me about my videos. I call them my corny videos, and everybody always comments on it. So if you have a question about this build or another build, put your comments, ask questions, be polite, please. I won't tolerate it. I'll just delete you. So most people, 99.99% are awesome. People always give thumbs up and good comments. So we don't want people, everybody has their own car, their own taste. It's almost like, everybody has their wives or their boyfriends, some people, so it's the guy's favorite thing. So, this is what he wanted. I love blue. Some people hate blue. So if you're the guy that doesn't like the blue, please don't comment on that. Just go with this. This is educational for everyone to help you build your car. Stay tuned. Appreciate you guys listening. Have a great day. And we'll be posting every day about this vehicle. Roscoe Pico Train coming at you.